I spent 1 month with a Sony a6700. Here's my thoughts and everything that I've learned about this hybrid workhorse of a camera. My cat just knocked down my lens cap. So I lied, I've actually just had this camera for 2 months now, so a little bit longer. This is also just gonna be like half vlog, half talking about this camera. I'm gonna keep this like really for the people who were like me and were searching for a whole bunch of reviews on this camera and example work, things like that. I'm not going to dive too crazy deep into the specs. This is just like a practical, everything you would want to know about this camera, because where this camera fits is between, it's definitely not beginner. It is in this like intermediate to like semi-pro level. 100% you can use this camera just for leisure, for fun, but you can definitely use it for some work projects as well, professional work. For context, I am a freelance videographer slash photographer here currently in Asheville, North Carolina. I am active with working with clients, creating content for social media, websites, etc., etc. And upgrading to this from what I had before, getting a phone call. I forgot where I was after I got that phone call. What do we want to talk about first? If there's any specs that I think are necessary and that you should know, I'll go through those real quick. So obviously, this camera is shooting in 4K. I believe it is 6K sampled down to 4K, 10-bit color, some other fancy stuff. It's very good. The colors are great. You can shoot in RAW on this. I haven't done it with video so far. I've stayed, and I think it's the I think it's Cinetone, I think is what I have on for settings. I'm not comfortable with color grading for video just yet, but I have started shooting in RAW for photos, starting to get more comfortable with that with Lightroom. So this is a 26 megapixel sensor, APS-C sensor. So you're gonna have that little bit of a crop. Doesn't bother me whatsoever. For the lens, I have the Tamron 17-70. Currently what you're looking at is it cranked all the way wide. So we're at 17 millimeter right now. This is kind of what it looks like. It is wide enough to capture all of this. And this is like a perfect, like, everyday, everything kind of lens for me. Oh, let's talk about price. So the Tamron 17-70 millimeter lens, f2.8. Yes, f2.8. This was $600, bought this new. The camera body itself for the Sony a6700, still running at around $1,600 right now, brand new. I got it during Black Friday, which they only did $100 off, but that was fine. Got it through Adorama. What else do you need to know? You don't need to know this, but I don't know, this mug is great. So it's just obviously like a Dragon Ball Z mug. The only character that's left on it is Goku. The dishwasher has removed all of the other characters. There were a whole bunch of characters all behind Goku, and he's the only one left, and he doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. I don't know. I think it's funny and like sort of fitting that just Goku would remain. Weird. Anyways. Oh, what else do you need to know? I'm definitely going to, throughout this whole video, I'm going to sprinkle in all the projects that I've done. So let's go like to the beginning of when I got it. Client work, tons of photos, tons of videos, merch highlights, some fun videos I put together. Oh, I did while I was down in Florida, holy shit, I came back with like, I think over 1,300 files. Yeah, so in Florida, I did band shoots for Feed the Geese. I did some client work with Florida Penguin Production, went to one of their markets. They wanted a promo video that they could use for the rest of the year. This camera did fantastic. I have a very simple rig setup with an external monitor, a shotgun mic, a couple handles. That's it. For this time around, I didn't really need to do the big like V-mount battery this time. Honestly, the battery life on this is great. And I'll usually carry around two batteries. So if I need to swap, this was like the perfect thing. It was only about 1.5 hours to 2 hours of shooting. I think I only went through one battery and that was it. So yeah, battery life on this is great. We can talk about the autofocus, but I think that's kind of self-explanatory. This thing is locked in on me right now. There's AI settings for animals, for planes, for trains, for a bunch of different things. So the autofocus is not something you'll ever have to really worry about. It is very good at what it does. Just for context too, I'm not someone who has like multiple cameras and I'm trying to sell you something or whatever. I'm probably gonna have this, I had my last camera for 5 years. Probably gonna have this camera for, well, I don't ever see myself getting rid of it. Eventually this will become a B cam. Sorry about that, that was probably really loud. Back to the Florida stuff. So yeah, did a band photo shoot, client work, and did a whole bunch of leisure stuff too. Went around to like a capybara cafe, tested out some low light stuff we went to the St. Pete Pier. There's a bunch of Christmas lights, but it was like super dark. This thing handled itself so well. I threw together a little like 60-second video, which I'm just gonna pull up right now. It's like a summary of everything that I got into during this trip. I'll probably have to switch out the song because I don't think Military Gun would appreciate me using their song, but shout out to Military Gun. But I'm just gonna have to just sub this out with some royalty-free crap, so enjoy. Let's see, I touched on the price, a little bit of the specs. This thing does have a micro HDMI port, which is fine, it's okay. It's not the best, but it does the job. It has one SD card slot, which to me is fine. Just have multiple SD cards if you need to. I usually run a 128 gigabyte SD card and I'll just dump it onto an external hard drive when I need to. I did that plenty of times in Florida. No big deal. I've basically tested this camera in every scenario you can imagine, low light, things like that, etc. I do a lot of running gun stuff. Oh, I did do another client video for I'll actually grab the coffee while I'm here. You can still hear me, I'm just in the kitchen. So there is a coffee shop here in Asheville. They just opened up recently called Wheelhouse. I did a little promo video. My wife put on an event for, it's like a vision board / craft night. Originally it was supposed to be held in this apartment, 10 people. That was it. It was supposed to be super chill, but the owner was like, why don't y'all just host it here? So that happened, started getting RSVPs and ended up maxing out the capacity there. So went out, did a cool little video. They were super sweet. I'm also thinking about doing a spec ad for, just for fun. This is from Cooperative Coffee. This is a blend they did for Wheelhouse. Little Wheelhouse blend there, Cooperative. Haven't tried the coffee yet, but I think I might do a little video. I love the colors on this coffee bag are just like really nice and the design is great. So I'm thinking I might do a nice little colorful shoot. The past couple spec ads that I've done have been like a little more dark and moody. So yeah, that'll be a nice little switch up. Okay, I think that's gonna be like this part of the video. We can just hang out and chat for a minute because this will probably be vlog number 5 anyway. So it's not just going to be about the camera. Right now, today is January 19th, I think. It's MLK Day. Let's talk about the Florida trip. That was the last video I put out was before I went on that trip. So yeah, that was a really fun trip. We did 10 days down in Florida. My parents live in North Florida, so we stayed there for a couple nights. Nice little bonfire, hanging out with the dogs, craziness of that household. Then we went down to Tampa, stayed with my best friend and his wife, and just bounced around. I think 10 days was like the sweet spot for this trip. Because it was like, there was even a point where we were like, all right, I think we're kind of feeling ready to go home. We were missing the cats. But no, yeah, 10 days was perfect. Like most of the time if we go, it's for like a week and we'll get pulled left and right because everyone wants to hang out. This time it was nice. There was some good downtime, great hangs with some friends, a lot of good food. I definitely gained some weight. Trying to get back into the routine of the gym again. Birthday was on the 29th of December. The night before, that was the day. So that day, that was when I had the shoot with Florida Penguin Productions. And then that afternoon, we went to Tampa Bay Lightning game versus Montreal. We won in the shootout. Woo, go Bolts. That was a fun experience. Always love going to see games like that. I did get a warm-up puck. I think I'm gonna start making that a thing. Every time we go to games to like make an effort to go find a warm-up puck. I have 2 now. I have one that was gifted to me when I saw the Blackhawks versus Vegas a few years ago. And I've got this one now. Super cool. Yeah, Christmas was chill, birthday was cool. We went to Mr. Dunderbox, which is like our favorite German restaurant in Tampa. They've been around for a long time. To me, that's what I want for my birthday dinner is the Von Baum sandwich with a liter of beer. So good. And then New Year's, just like hung out with some friends, showed them a Korean drinking game with some soju. That was a lot of fun. And then we headed back up on the 2nd. Got back home and just been trying to get back into the swing of things. Work has been busy. Client work has been slow this month. It's usually this time of the year, especially the client that I currently have as a retainer client. This is their winter break. So they'll be closed for like 2 weeks. So not doing a whole lot of shooting with them. Been doing a little bit of work. Did a little photo shoot the other day with some of the staff. It was kind of cool. Put together a little quick video of like 53 photos flashing by. It was pretty nice. Yeah, 2026. I don't know, I feel like my plans are kind of loose. I've got some goals in mind with what I want to do with this. I feel like I wanted to go full-time with doing this kind of work. I don't know what's gonna happen. Getting another phone call. I will say it's nice that Sony has this app for remotely connecting the camera to your phone. It kind of sucks. Connecting to it can be kind of a pain in the ass. It sucks that I have to like almost fully restart the app anytime I go to a different screen. So that's kind of annoying. I like having it as a monitor. I've got it like down below the tripod right here. Yeah, 2026. I don't really have like specific goals or resolutions. Just getting back on track with health stuff is definitely a bigger priority. But yeah, I was talking about, you know, this freelance work that I do. We'll see what happens with it. I'm gonna try to someday maybe go full-time. I thought it might happen this year. I don't really know if it's really gonna happen this year. We'll see what happens. Might have my wife help me with marketing and like sales calls, stuff like that, because it's the one thing I really don't want to do and I'm not good at it. So we'll see what happens when she helps me with that, but I want to break into different industries too. Down south in Greenville, they have a ECHL hockey team, the Swamp Rabbits, and kind of want to shoot my shot with them. I would love to get into doing videography for social media for hockey teams. That would be like, that's really big on my list for stuff that would be exciting to do. But yeah, we'll cover more of that later. I just want to make this video real quick, talk about the Sony a6700. To sum it up, I love this camera. I'm going to use the hell out of this camera for the next few years. I'm excited about it. I still love it 2 months in. And yeah, I'll probably go downstairs in a little while and do a little photo shoot of it with my other camera. Do a little spec ad of this coffee, and it's gonna be it. I've also got some housework to do. I need to move that box over, and we got you can't see it in frame right now, but we have an IKEA coat closet shoe rack situation. So I gotta get that out of there, move that stuff. They're just gonna be busy today, and then back to work tomorrow. And we'll just get back to the groove of things. But yeah, if you stuck around this far in the video, that's cool. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.